Welcome, everybody. Welcome. How exciting. Our first inaugural Innovation Symposium. Delighted to be bringing this to you. My name's Tony Sardella. I lead a group that is focused on supporting businesses in their innovation and growth initiatives. Part of that support is hosting and putting together this symposium with a really select group of elite speakers that we'll be sharing this evening and tomorrow. Team is comprised of Tracy Guildhouse, Michael Briers, and Jay Harrison, but we couldn't do it also without the support of the business units, particularly travel, who had organized this event for us and brought us all together. So we appreciate all their support. You know, it's a special thing to have a session that's specifically tailored to our unique needs, which is what we assembled today. A symposium that's focused just on us, just as merits our needs and your needs. This is for you in regards to the content we have from the survey and some of the inputs that you've provided. This is focused on you in regards to your efforts. Why have a symposium? Why put one together? You know, innovation is probably one of the hottest disciplines right now, if not the hottest discipline. I think of the last 12 issues of Harvard Business Review, 10 of them have either focused on innovation or have covered numerous topics on innovation in that time period. And the reason is that businesses are greatly challenged after a pretty lengthy period of stagnation in their growth to come up with innovations that can overcome all this disruptive change that the businesses are going through. We're no different. Our customers are no different. And that's been why such a focus has been placed on innovation, really as a means, a tool for growth. You know, I think that's a critical piece as we go through our next day and a half. It's not innovation for the sake of innovation. Innovations is a means for growth. And that's the focus, using innovation for growth. But to do that, one has to kind of get a little detail on what is innovation itself. What does it mean? It means a lot of things to a lot of different people. It's typically confused with creativity. Right? But innovation is an idea or business concept that is successfully commercialized. And that's a focus for us over the next day and a half as we get a lot of different ideas and concepts, but also placing those in a form where they can be commercialized for business gain. You know, it's unlocking that value, creating value, and then capturing that value. That's true innovation versus creativity, critical elements of that. And you know, one of the hallmarks of innovation, if you look, there's a lot of different methodologies, a lot of philosophies around it, a lot of cases and frameworks, but there's one that's very consistent across all of that. That is that innovation happens at the intersection of disciplines. Intersection of disciplines. So you saw in your agenda a series of dots that we were looking for you to exchange. And part of that is to facilitate that conversation, exchange of ideas, not just with those that we receive from the speakers, but among yourselves. And with that facilitation of diverse thought and diverse insights and perspectives, that's really the perspective of which we brought these speakers together. You notice they come from a lot of different backgrounds. We have a professor from MIT. We have authors of books, industry experts, advisories, consultancies, all brought together in one place. A very different and diverse background, different experiences that they also hold. And that's necessary if we're going to unlock innovation that leads to commercialization success. But there's another group that's also here, and that's yourselves. A very diverse group of individuals, different backgrounds, different functions, different areas of our business. Right? You are the future change agents for innovation for this company. And we brought you together today for a specific reason. And that is because you represent future ideas and business models that we could put into commercialization. So we appreciate you making the decision to come, taking the time. We look forward to you participating in those areas. But we do have an ask. We do have something we'd like to ask you in this part. Something we want you to focus in on over the next day and a half. And that is that we're looking for you to take the ideas and concepts from the speakers as well as those that you exchange among yourselves and infuse them into your strategic planning process over the next series of weeks and months in your businesses. That's a critical piece that we want brought together. It's not just hearing the concepts, but also taking them back and infusing those into the business units. You know, if you had the opportunity to read the article we distributed in advance, the big bang disruption, a lot of good cases there, some just scary at times, changes that are occurring, right? A lot of different scary events, technological and otherwise. But there was something in that article that really jumps out. And what it is, it speaks of to prepare, to protect businesses and move forward. One has to look for people who can see into the future, see what might happen, see the different events that might occur. Those are the speakers that we brought together today to get and tomorrow, their views, their perspective on where they see things going, keeping in line with that's a critical piece for us to embark on efforts to innovate in our businesses such that we can lead to greater growth in our businesses as well. Okay? So look for those ideas, and they bring a wide variety of views. We may not always agree with some of them. Right? I think we had some posters outside that talked about may not want to agree, but we listen as if it were true. And I think that's a critical element because they are forecasting forward in what they see evolving over time. So our first speaker today is someone that I met about 5 years ago, Brian Solis. He's the principal analyst of the Altimeter Group, a wonderful group that he's been with for many of those years. We met each other at, ironically, the inaugural launch of an institute called the Institute for Social Search and Mobile. And he provided some very interesting views of where business was going, the changes that businesses would confront. In many cases, those came to fruition. And while at the time many didn't wish to agree, in fact, he probably offended many in the audience with his views, different views about businesses and their future. But they came to be very accurate in regards to what he was seeing and how business was changing. And that's why Brian is such a highly sought-after speaker. We have the pleasure of giving you his book. He's a best-selling author in the field of the future of business. You'll be able to get that later this evening. He's highly sought after from corporations, guiding them in regards to their evolution and path through disruptive change in their businesses. A very prominent blogger in the community and sharing ideas. And we're quite honored to have them here with us tonight. So with that, I'd like to welcome to Merritt's in our inaugural Innovation Symposium, Brian Solis.